Yes, fight fans, this is Body and Mind Sports. Welcome. You are fully appreciated if you are here for another session of boxing talk. And this round, I'm just gonna get right into it and talk about one of the, or should I say, some of the most talked about fights to be made right now in boxing. And some of those fights actually are in the lightweight division, and of course they involve three of the top names in that division, being Gervonta Tank Davis, Vasily Lomachenko, and of course Shakur Stevenson. And apart from them being the most talked about, there are also, fans have shown a lot of deep desire to have three of them face one another at some point in their career, rather sooner than later. Of course, now Vasily Lomachenko, 36 years old. However, Shakur still thinks, although not in his prime, is still a very high elite fighter, as he recalls witnessing Lomachenko's performance versus George Kambosos. And in my opinion, that was a brilliant performance by Lomachenko there, especially when you factor in that George Kambosos, who actually beat not only dropped Teofimo Lopez, but beat up Teofimo Lopez, the man that actually beat Vasily Lomachenko. And the reason why, and that even makes Lomachenko's win over Kambosos even bigger. Of course, highlighting the point that in boxing, it's not really, it's not that if you beat somebody and then that means that you're gonna beat the person who that person beat, if you understand what I mean. Basically highlighting the point in boxing, the old statement that styles make fights, if you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And another factor that you need to look at is that Devin the Dream Haney, former undisputed champion at the lightweight division, after beating George Kambosos to unify all three titles, he also put a beat down on George Kambosos, especially in their second fight. Of course, their first fight was to settle who was to be undisputed of the division, and the second was Devin Haney defending his undisputed position. And I must say that Lomachenko's win, however, over George Kambosos was in a way far more impressive, especially that he actually earned a TKO off that win. So for me, it was a lot more impressive than Devin Haney's win. Lomachenko I'm talking about. So despite Devin Haney going on to beat Lomachenko, Lomachenko's win over Kambosos was actually far more impressive to me than Devin Haney's win over George Kambosos. So yeah, that is my take on that. And also Shakur Stevenson did also go on to say that although that he favors Tank Davis if him and Lomachenko were to fight, he however would not be surprised at all if Lomachenko was to come up with the win over Tank Davis. And that is his real opinion, but I totally disagree. I, for one, would be very surprised, because once again, styles make fights, guys. And Lomachenko, if you look at all his fights pre Teofimo Lopez, that is before he faced and was beaten by Teofimo Lopez, has never really faced any fighter that that I would say was better than Jorge Linares, of course. Jorge Linares, the best win in Lomachenko's resume up to the point of facing Teofimo Lopez. And I found that Lomachenko especially doesn't only have trouble with fighting athletic fighters. I mean, you saw that in Jorge Linares, who dropped Lomachenko in their fight, and of course with Jermaine Ortiz, who actually fought Lomachenko to the nail and to the tooth, right to the end of a 12th round fight. And it was very, very close. I mean, it could have gone either way. It could have gone Lomachenko's way. It could have gone Jermaine Ortiz's way. But that's not the point I'm really trying to make, although that is a point in itself. But what I'm trying to really trying to get at is that Lomachenko really has trouble beating fighters that have adopted sort of a Floyd Mayweather-esque type of style into their own style of fighting. Of course, the result being why he lost to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, who likes to adopt Floyd Mayweather's shoulder roll. He likes to adopt his Philly shell, and of course his counter punching ability, the pull counter punch. All those are all skills of Floyd Mayweather's that Teofimo Lopez has adopted into his style. And again, secondly, Lomachenko, having lost to Devin the Dream Haney, who also has, throughout his debut in professional boxing, has constantly been compared to Floyd Mayweather in terms of his style and ability. And not only that, but Devin the Dream Haney, in the early stages of his career, did a lot of his training in the Mayweather gym. So you can see where that comparison actually comes from, or where people see the similarities from. So yeah, Lomachenko does have a lot of trouble dealing with those sort of fighters because he's never faced them before, pre Teofimo Lopez. And not only that, it's a hard style to prepare for, and he sees that in Gervonta Tank Davis. Of course, Gervonta Tank Davis, who has been on a negotiation, has been in negotiations with Vasily Lomachenko to try and make a fight happen after Tank's emphatic TKO win, or should I say KO win, over Frank Martin in the 7th round of his most recent fight. But Lomachenko, of course, has refused to face Gervonta Tank Davis with the excuse that he's not really motivated to face any other fighter for the rest of 2024. Of course, Gervonta Tank Davis's coach in Calvin Ford has said that maybe the reason why Lomachenko has declined the offer to fight Gervonta Tank Davis is probably because Lomachenko, in his career previously, has always been the A side, and therefore in control of who gets what in terms of money shares. So yeah, I do totally understand that point, but what I see most is that Lomachenko actually sees another loss coming. Like I said, that Floyd Mayweather style is very, very hard to prepare for, and he's lost twice to similar styles. But what is even worse in Gervonta Tank Davis is that he packs a lot of power with it too. You know, it's not just boxing with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's going to come in there to fight you and break your jaw. So Lomachenko sees pending doom, but he needs not have to fear, because he himself is a quality fighter. And I agree with Shakur Stevenson when he said that Lomachenko can actually provide a lot of problems for Gervonta Tank Davis to deal with in the ring. But however, I do disagree that you know, for me, I would not be surprised if for me, I would be very surprised if Lomachenko actually went on to beat him though. But talking about ducking, according to Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, who has of course Shakur Stevenson, who claims that you know, that he has been being ducked by Vasily Lomachenko and Tank Davis. However, has gone on to say that Tank Davis previously also has been ducking Vasily Lomachenko, but I don't totally disagree with him on that opinion. Although I'm more of the opinion that Gervonta Tank Davis's career was swerved around Lomachenko in the early stages. That is in 2017, when they were both competing at super featherweight. And I would say the reason why his career was swerved around Lomachenko, because at the time the excuse was that Tank Davis was only 22 years old, and of course Lomachenko was already a full-grown man in his prime. So there was the excuse, and I think Gervonta Tank Davis had bought into that also, and that became his excuse also. But I do believe that whether it was 2017 or now, Tank Davis would have come up victorious regardless. And yeah, and I believe that that Teofimo Lopez fight with Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight with Lomachenko proves that, especially that of Teofimo Lopez, who actually encountered Lomachenko when Lomachenko was a lot younger than, you know, 36 years old. I believe 3 years or so younger. And in boxing, that does make quite a considerable difference. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. But I'm really trying to think about something else to give to you guys, to tell you the truth. Yeah, of course, Shakur Stevenson has also added that the only way in which him and Tank Davis would not fight is if either of them were to lose along the way, to, you know, or should I say, to lose along the way to defending their belts or something like that in the weight class, to lose to somebody in the weight class, bottom line. But I don't really see any of them getting beaten, especially Gervonta Tank Davis. There's not even Lomachenko I don't believe can beat them, and he is my third favorite fighter in the division. I don't think anyone can beat Tank Davis. Too much skill, too much power. Shakur Stevenson just can't get hit. So I don't really see them two getting beaten. So Shakur Stevenson just really needs to press his brakes, hold on to his belt and defend it right. And him and Tank will meet each other at some point, because Tank Davis has ambitions of becoming undisputed in that division. And to do that would have to go through Shakur Stevenson, who currently holds the WBC world title within that division. Lomachenko in also holding the IBF title, which he beat George Kambosos to get that belt when competing to of course get that title that was dropped by former undisputed champion in Devin the Dream Haney. Yeah, so that's my point. And our rather Shakur Stevenson just waited a little bit, although he and Eddie Hearn, of course, he's now signed to Eddie Hearn and the Zone, and they have put out their fight plan. Of course, that after Shakur Stevenson faces Joe Cordina coming up on the 14th, I believe, of October on the Better Beef and Bivol fight card. So after facing Joe Cordina, would go on to face William Zepeda and then Shakur Stevenson. But I would advise them to wait. Maybe go on to get another belt in the division. There is Baranchyk, you know, Dennis Baranchyk, available there with a title. He's holding the WBO title at the moment in that division. So yeah, go for another title, and let's see you and Gervonta Tank Davis face off for the ultimate title in the division, which is all 4 belts combined to become undisputed champion. I think that's a great idea, guys. And you know, that's all I have for you in this video. See you next time on Body and Mind Sports, and I'll be right here on the next boxing talk. For now, please like, share, definitely subscribe, and drop your comments below, and stay very, very blessed until next